Hey everybody, it's Jamie the Crafty DIY Guy. Welcome back to my channel. Now I am super excited about today's video because once again, we are going to be working with my Epson EcoTank printer. We are going to be using some new products from Hippo that I am just now being introduced to. And I have to say, these were also pretty fun. Now, if the Hippo name sounds familiar to you, it might be because you saw my recent video on the sublimation ink printing. That in itself was really cool and probably my absolute favorite project that I've done with Hippo, but these are coming in a very, very close second and third place. I would say that these are probably some of the easier projects that I've done. Now, we are going to be using this water slide decal paper for one of our projects. It's going to be the last project in today's video. And then we're going to be using this. This is a transfer paper that is specifically made for dark fabrics. Now, if you are working on, like, let's say glassware or plates or even wood items, and you don't have a cutting machine, you can literally go to the internet, find an image that you like, buy it if you need to, make it legal, make it legit, and then have that image printed on a plate or on a piece of wood. And just like that says, this is a water slide. Yeah, there's a mug that's here, and that doesn't mean that you can only use it on mugs. This decal that you will add to your image literally slides off of the paper right onto the image. It is crazy how it works and how good it looks when it's all done. Now, this one is really cool. Now, if you saw the sublimation printer project that I did with the bag and the rainbow and the monogram, then you already are familiar kind of with the Hippo projects and with the Hippo brand. Now, what this does is this allows you to also kind of do that same type of effect, but you're going to be able to do this on a darker colored fabric. And what's really cool about this in particular is that this is almost really like an iron-on. You know how an iron-on will have like the entire background and everything in it? That's what you can create with this. So if you are working on a dark black sweatshirt or blue sweatshirt like this here, this could literally be a transfer that you would do with this type of paper. Now, for my purpose, I actually used a tote bag because I have a great tote bag. I'm really into using the recyclable tote bags right now for groceries and for shopping hauls and stuff. And I'm making kind of a collection of these tote bags to be able to carry. But I'm going to show you how to do this on that tote bag. And then for this water slide decal, we are going to have a coordinating piece that's going to go really well with the other piece here. So before we get into that, I, of course, have to say thank you to my subscribers. You guys know who you are, my short-termers, long-termers, everybody in between. I so appreciate you being here. I honestly think that this is so much fun, these projects. I love doing my normal DIYs and things like this, but these types of things where I can introduce you guys to something brand new as well, I think is a lot of fun, and I hope that you will enjoy the journey as well. If you missed the sublimation ink video, I'm going to put that in the description box below for you. That way you can also watch that one when you're done. And then of course, all of these materials are going to be linked in the description box below also. All right, guys, let's get into that video now, or this way, whichever way the camera is going to go. Now, as I mentioned in my introduction there, you are going to need the transfer paper for dark fabric that you can pick up from Hippo. I have a link in the description box below for both of these. And then also the water slide decal paper, also by Hippo. Now, for the water slide decal paper, you are going to need not only an item like a mug, in my example, but you are also going to want to grab a sealer of some kind. This is not the sealer that you want to get. I will explain that later on in the video and give you some great recommendations and a pro tip on how to make this really easy. Also, you're going to need a heat source of some kind. I'm going to be using my Cricut Easy Press here, but you could use an iron if you needed to as well. Either one of those will work perfectly fine depending on what you are doing. Now, for my Epson printer, this is the Epson EcoTank printer. but I'm actually just going to be using ordinary regular color ink. Now for this particular project, I'm using the Hippo ink that is available on Amazon. I do have a link in the description box below. You will want to make sure that you are using regular ink when you do these types of projects, and the Hippo brand is perfect because it's compatible, of course, with their Hippo water slide decal paper as well as their Hippo transfer paper for dark fabrics. It's literally going to make your life so much easier and your projects are going to turn out awesome. Now, for our first project, this is going to be for the transfer paper project that I'm going to be doing on the dark fabric. I'm going to the internet and I'm going to find an image that I really like. Now, I loved this image. I wasn't exactly sure how I'd be able to, use this, play around with this. So what I did was I did end up going to the website. I saw that you could download kind of a free preview. I got a general idea of what I liked, what I didn't like about it. And you know what? There wasn't anything I didn't like about it. This was something that I thought was really cool. Now, if you created your own image, you could certainly do that also. That is totally doable and up to you. Now, I'm printing just kind of a preview here because I want to make sure that it's going to be exactly what I want and what I like. And after it was the item or the image that I was going to use for my project, I then did go in and buy the project like I was supposed to. So now we're actually printing the image that is now legal. And I'm taking my image and I'm literally laying it out on my paper. I'm selecting my Epson printer and I'm making sure that I'm selecting the proper materials when I am doing this. For the print quality, you're going to use either a photo or a high-res print quality photo. And then you're going to set the paper type to plain paper, or you can use the Epson Premium seam paper. Either one works perfectly fine. And then you're just going to print. So for this particular object, I'm printing it this larger size, or for this particular image, I should say. It's not an object. We're going to make it an object, though, really soon. Now, after this is printed, then I am going to use the tote bag. I mentioned I'm using a bunch of these tote bags. And by the way, if you did not see the original tote bag that I made in the other Hippo video, I want you to check out this. This was done with their sublimation ink, and I'm so happy with the way that this one turned out. It was a lot of fun, and I have a link in the description box to this video for you as well. But let's get back on track and talk about that other project that we're doing on the transfer paper for darker fabrics. The great thing about a creation is that it really can be your own creation. Now, I have printed the design that I want, but instead of just doing kind of a basic square here, I'm going to have fun with it because this is my project. I want to make it original. I want to make it unique to me. And so I am going to go ahead and just cut my image out. And, I'm kind of using a swirly little zigzaggy pattern, just kind of making it my own and really cutting around that image. Now, once I've got that image cut out to the shape that I want and the shape that I've desired, I am then going to peel it away. And I am literally peeling off what is more or less going to be that transfer sheet that we are going to transfer right on to, in this case, my tote bag. Now, again, you could do this on a dark t-shirt. You could do this on a mouse pad. You can do this pretty much on anything that you can put any kind of an iron-on type thing on. And you'll see that it creates a beautiful background. I love the shape that I cut. And I'm going to make this really easy because all you have to do is set your easy press or your iron to 330 degrees for about 20 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds. I'm going back and forth with mine because my image is a little bit larger than my easy press, and just making sure that that's nice and solid. I'm going to give it a few other seconds here, and then when you peel away that paper, look how cool this is. I have another tote bag that is perfectly customizable. I did my own design within the cut itself, and I love the way this turned out. I'm so happy with this. Now for this next project, this is going to be done with the water slide decal paper, also from Hippo and linked below. I'm going to be adding my design to a coffee mug. Now, I've already downloaded this design. This is the one that I paid for in the earlier project, and I'm going to go ahead and just use this. Now, the water slide decal paper does take different settings than the previous transfer paper that we were using for the dark surfaces. So you'll want to make sure that you follow your manufacturer's instructions when you are working with your decal, making sure, of course, that you are following all the guidelines and getting everything printed properly. Now, for mine, I printed a couple different sizes so then I could figure out what I wanted to do and to add it to my project. All right, now that you've got your image printed, you would think that you are ready to go. That is not going to be the case. I actually learned the hard way, and I wanted to share this part with you guys as a pro tip. You are going to get a sealer and you are going to spray your image down with the sealer. I highly recommend an aerosol can spray. There's several different brands out there. There's Mod Podge, there's Aleene's, Krylon makes one. There's a bunch of different ones. The Rust-Oleum one that I used, in all honesty, probably wasn't the best. I wish I would have gone with the Mod Podge or the Aleene's. It did end up ultimately working, but pro tip for you, definitely follow your manufacturer's instructions for your sealer. If you can get the Mod Podge or the Aleene's, I highly recommend those. And what I would do is give it 3 coats of the sealer, making sure that you have a good probably 20 minutes or so of drying time in between each one. And then when everything is dry, you'll go on to this next step. And now that I've got everything cut out, I literally just submerged it into some cold water. Now, the image I just cut as the typical rectangle, no kind of creative shapes or zigzags this time. I'm also wetting down my coffee mug just a little bit because you do want to help kind of slide that decal off. Now, speaking of sliding, after your decal has sat in the water for about 10 to 20 seconds, you're going to hold some pressure on one side and you're going to pull and check that out. It literally slid onto the coffee mug. I'm telling you, it is that easy. Because this happened so fast, I'm actually going to show you that process again. Literally, all you're doing is sliding your decal right onto the image. Now, you will dab it down with some water and make sure that it's dry. And when it's all done, you've got the cutest little coffee mug. For me, I wanted to put this on my coffee bar so it would kind of match with my fall decor. I added some florals to my coffee mug. I could totally drink my coffee with this mug. No problems at all with that. You can seal it with a clear coat or with a food grade safe clear sealer as well. But check this out. It matches my tote bag. I have such a cute little set here, and I did it all with my Epson color printer. How crazy is this? All right, guys, that is it. That is our projects for today. I used the water slide decals from Hippo, and also I used these transfer paper sheets from Hippo. How cool were these projects today? Let me know in the comments below which ones were your favorite. Be sure to check out the links in my description box below because I've got links to the Amazon website where you can find all of these great projects and you can hopefully create some of these very cool items for yourself. All right, guys, thank you so much. Bye-bye.